Well, damn, we missed week 1, but that's okay. Welcome to this week's episode of Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Men Up. As always, I'm John. That's a teen. We blanked. I mean, straight up, we blanked. We had very.
I had multiple.
No, we were busy. We were busy.
I've had 5 exams in the last 5 days.
Yeah, no, we were extremely busy. Extremely busy men. Extremely busy businessmen. You know what's funny? There was somebody I was I was doing like a card deal with the other day, and there was a friend of mine in that community that had warned me about this person. And as soon as I started to get a little bit like wishy-washy about the deal, the guy's like true colors came out, and he just kept saying like, "We are businessmen." Constantly. He's like, "I am businessman." Like he kept saying, "I am businessman." Not "I am a businessman" or like "we're business." I am businessman. Spelling it wrong every single possible time. And at that point, when I started to realize the mispronunciations and misspellings might have been on purpose, delete onto the do not sell list, which is getting longer. Community is messed up. Anyway, so busy guys, busy businessmans this week. But we still had time for ball. Watched a lot of football. We watched football together. Always fun.
It was
always fun. Always fun. Always fun to watch the football. So, if this is your first time listening to the show during the regular season, it's very different than the off-season show. Off-season show has been analysis. This show is just reactionary.
Oh, yeah.
This is week to week. We do reactionaries or whatever the hell else we feel like doing, because we've done plenty of TED Talks on these in-season episodes a million times over. But I think we have to start with our biggest story. I know we're going to get to our regular season award predictions, and we'll pick our winners for this week. One housekeeping note, though, and we're going to bury something kind of dead and gone, at least for the year, or at least for the time being. So, due to medical reasons, I'll spare the details, but due to medical reasons, we have to suspend the weekly shot taking on major losses. I thought about maybe we just make them like small $5 bets against each other. The problem with that is, and Tina and I bet together, so it wouldn't make any sense. All the money's going into the same pot, so it wouldn't make any sense. So if we think of an alternative, we'll do it, but we don't have one yet that's as fun as shot takes.
Takes with shotguns.
No. Most American thing, the Europeans would never be able to understand what would be going on. There was a video I saw, that it was a meme I saw. It was that, you know that video of that crappy like Creed halftime show at Cowboy Stadium from like 20 years ago?
No.
Oh, I have to show you this because it is mind-blowing how American it is. But it's also just insane. Like, they sing that song, "Can You Take Me Higher?" or whatever. Can you take me higher? Like that crap.
Okay.
And there's like a dude with no shirt on flying on like scarves. Like it's such a bizarre performance at an NFL halftime show by the band Creed. And the caption was like, "The Europeans could never understand this." And I was like, okay, valid. They never understand. And they shouldn't have to because it's stupid. Anyway, so we'll do our awards. We'll do the weeklies. I still have a sinus thing. It's not going away. I'm probably allergic to the cats I live with. Who knows? But we'll start today with the biggest story. The biggest story, of course, of the week is that Nakobe Dean hurt his foot. Kidding. The biggest story of the week.
My friend tore his Achilles.
Yeah. We've told that story already, I think. Yeah. Somebody who watched the draft tore their Achilles.
The first thing I messaged to him was, "Now you have something in common."
Valid. So, Aaron Rodgers has torn more Achilles as a member of the New York Jets than he has passing yards as a member of the New York Jets. 4 plays. 4 plays, and it's over. 6 months of playing it up. 4 days of a darkness retreat.
A whole TV season.
Countless trips to the Pat McAfee show culminates with this.
Yeah.
If that is not the biggest, blue balls NFL thing to ever happen, I don't know what is. Now, we have said some unsavory things about Aaron Rodgers in this show. We don't agree with his vaccination stance. I think we've been very clear about that. He's been a bit of a prima donna when it came to the Packers.
A bit?
But, a bit. But there's no disputing the man has been a legendary quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Hall of Fame quarterback.
He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame douche.
He's kind of that too. But he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the Jets go from here.
Zach Wilson, baby. Oh, God.
You know what's stuff? Here's what's really. You know who the biggest losers of this are? Other than the Jets, of course.
Who?
The Packers, too.
Oh, because the Packers lose the first-round pick.
The Packers lose the first-round pick because Aaron Rodgers needed to hit certain playtime accelerators to turn a 2 into a 1. Now it's just a 2. So the Jets are still going to have that 1 for next year.
But also, the Jets can't even use that 1 right now.
Why?
Because it's an NFL rule that they don't count the play time until the end of the season.
Oh, right. No, of course. No, you can't. You won't be able to trade it like a 1 or a 2. Yeah, you
so
can't.
They can't even trade for a quarterback right now using those picks.
Not right now. No, not using that pick. So, yeah, it's kind of locked. There were rumors floating around. I want to put this one to bed. There were people that were bringing up this rumor or idea about Tom Brady coming to play for the Jets. So here's the funny thing. First of all, it's a one Tom Brady thing where he plays, and I actually support it. It's the one thing because just because it's funny.
Just before you go with the legal reason why he can't, let's go with the player reason why he can't. That offensive line is garbage.
That O-line's bad.
Not only is the offensive line garbage, Aaron Rodgers knew how bad it was, told his offensive coordinator not to run these plays, and he ran them anyways.
Nathaniel Hackett, baby! Yeah, the Jets now have Zach Wilson at quarterback and Nathaniel Hackett calling the plays.
Maybe Sean Payton was right.
Defensive head coach.
We gave Sean Payton so much shit. Maybe he was right.
Sean Payton might have a clue. So, Sean Payton,
if you watched this last weekend, Sean Payton doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, Sean Payton's 0-1, and Nathaniel Hackett is, he's 1-0, but he's out here on Rodgers.
Hackett is 1-0. We'll get to that part too.
Yeah. So, the reason Tom Brady, I just want to put this all to bed, Tom Brady can't play for the Jets. He physically can't. Because he's part of the ownership group of the Raiders now.
Did you hear that? It always eventually makes its way back to the Raiders.
Can you imagine? I'm literally going to use the exact same voice inflection I heard on a Smosh video recently. There's a relatively new cast member named Angela. Funny motherfucker. The funniest person they've had there. She's so funny. But can you imagine? And she was talking about a Reddit story.
Okay.
Can you imagine a player, an owner of another team, playing for a different team? No, you can't because it won't happen. So, Tom Brady would have to sell his stake in the Raiders in order to play for the Jets. I don't think it's happening. I'm going to throw another wrench in this real quick.
Okay.
And we keep it purely about football.
Okay.
I'm not listening to this Colin Kaepernick shit anymore. I'm not. It's been 7 years. He hasn't stepped on a field. No, he's not playing for the Jets. He's 36 years old, hasn't taken NFL snaps since he was 30. No. Sorry, it's done. It's done. He was very likely blackballed. All of this shit happened. I'm on record as saying he wasn't good enough to warrant signing him at any time, but now you're well past the expiration date. There's no chance now. So let's get that out of there.
Carson Wentz,
on the other hand, is not much better and is available, and who cares? I don't know. Matt Ryan worked for CBS. I know he said he is available, but behind that O-line, if you're that old, Matt Ryan. You think Matt Ryan's got a shot at the Hall?
Yeah.
I do too.
It's just going to take a while.
No ring, so it hurts. But Matt Ryan's...
Thanks, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. Matt Ryan's numbers are sick.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Ryan on the field was a top 5 arm. He was a great quarterback. He was fantastic.
And then, it all kind of collapsed. As with age. Yeah.
It happens. So...
What about Cam Newton?
Newton's around. I don't know what kind of shape he's in health-wise. I mean, probably in very good shape, probably in football shape, but he's not. He's been banged up. I don't know what he has left.
Oh, Heineke. Trade for Heineke. It won't cost you that much. He's better than what they have.
Yeah, you get him from Atlanta.
Because you can't go to Miami and be like, can we have Mike White back?
Mike White. Yeah, you can't pull that off. I mean, you can go to the Broncos and ask for Stidham. You can go to the Colts and ask for what the hell's his damn name? Minshew.
Where's Joe Flacco right now?
Unemployed.
He just played with the Jets. I'm saying.
Yeah, he did briefly. Yeah, you can bring back Flacco for a year.
I mean, I'm just saying we don't have to stick with Zach. We tried that.
Go trade for Trey Lance again. Go make Trey Lance move again. Yeah, you don't have to stick with Zach Wilson. If your point is you don't have to stick with Zach Wilson, then go ahead. You know what could be interesting is the Jets and Giants made a swap and just added Daniel Jones, and the Giants, after that 40-0 debacle, waived it and said, okay, this is not going to work. But the contract makes DJ immovable. So, no. Any other bright ideas, Professor?
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Guy's like 4. No. He didn't play last year, did he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's done.
Sam Bradford.
He's been done. He was done when he was playing.
How far down do we have to go? How much do you think Matthew Stafford would actually cost in a trade right now?
A lot.
Really?
Well, do you see what Stetson Bennett did?
What did Stetson Bennett do?
He's on the NFI list, and McVay won't say why, so I think he just left.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wait, someone called Matt Corral. He also just...
Matt Corral. Oh, my gosh.
We forgot about that.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't want to speculate on the Bennett thing. It's a good thing we brought this up. I don't want to speculate on the Bennett thing or the Corral thing. Because the Corral thing, it's been alluded to that it's a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Meaning he's suffering from depression. First of all, get help and get well soon. Fuck yeah, focus on that. If the same thing's happened with Stetson Bennett, get help, get well soon, fuck yeah. Do that.
Okay. How about Malik Willis?
No, because you would move Willis before you'd move Levis. You saw Levis was healthy scratched. Golly.
God,
Rashad Penny was healthy scratch too. There's too many good players. Rashad Penny's good enough to not get a healthy scratch. I'm sorry.
All right,
He's not going to get one now because Gainwell's not going to play this week.
Let's move on to the next Achilles injury.
Yeah, so the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, no.
Remember a year or two ago, the Ravens had that 1 square foot of grass that just kept killing their players?
Yep.
Well, it's happening again on different grass. J.K. Dobbins, Shaq, this one's for you. Shaq, a friend of ours, Shaq, was very gung-ho on J.K. Dobbins this year. And Dobbins started the year great. Helped our parlay. We had a Dobbins touchdown. He scored it, and then he immediately popped his Achilles.
Yep.
Almost within 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's another season gone.
And a career, probably.
Perhaps. Let me say this. I hope he gets well. But I'm also going to say this. Austin Eckler, this is why running backs are not getting paid.
Speaking of Austin Eckler.
Speaking of Austin Eckler, ankle injury, questionable for Sunday. I mean, that's what happens. It is a punishing position.
Mm-hmm.
Very physically taxing position. Now, on the other side of the football, Marcus Williams, torn pectoral. Who knows? At least weeks. Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, the guys responsible for Dobbins' injury.
I think it was knee injuries, right?
I don't know what they have, but
Ronnie
I know the
Stanley
week to
was
week.
a knee, yeah.
Yeah, the week to week. Ronnie Stanley is stacking up injury checks.
Yeah.
It's concerning. Linderbaum, it's only year 2. It's the only real semblance of the injury. We'll see. I'm getting concerned about Stanley. Actually, I'm going to throw another one in there. Did you see who got cut yesterday?
Who?
So the Cincinnati Bengals outright cut Lyle Collins.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't see this. They outright cut Lyle Collins. Gone. Due to injury. It's a $7 million cap savings. After the settlement, it'll be like 5 something. But he was cut outright. Lyle Collins is no longer a Bengal. And I caught that today. It was from the top rope random shit that happened today.
Oh, shoot. We'll get to it later.
Okay. Yeah, so Lyle Collins 3 years ago was like the next best O-lineman generating into this juggernaut of a potential left or right tackle. All of a sudden, not in football. Mm-hmm. The lifespan of the O-line is getting lower too, which is why it's important to Ryan Jensen's career probably done. I mean, kind of retired. Ali Marpet retired when he was 28. Mm-hmm. They're leaving sooner or getting hurt too soon. I don't know. It's pretty messed up right now, especially with these O-linemen. I hope Linderbaum and Stanley can get it together.
How do you feel about the talent of the NFL overall compared to the previous 10 years?
So it's objectively better than it's ever been.
Yes. And the players are athletic. More athletic. They're better at their job.
The sport as a whole, players to players, is better today than it was back then. I'll make a different point, though, and it's a discussion I've had with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. The difference between the best 2 running backs, for example, and the running backs 20 through 25 is smaller than it used to be.
Yeah. I think,
and I'm not just saying, I'm using running backs as an example, but I mean that mostly for most positions outside of quarterback.
To me, it feels like outside of quarterback, every other position is kind of getting crammed into this one window of talent. And there's levels to this. The worst wide receiver isn't nearly as good as Justin Jefferson.
Right. Yeah, Quez Watkins is not JJ. It's not.
But you can't. How much better for a team is Justin Jefferson to Chris Olave?
Right. That's a good point. And that's the reality of, because the answer to your question is he better? Yeah, yes, of course. But Kirk Cousins today, probably a better quote-unquote quarterback than Derek Carr. The O-line in Minnesota is probably better by about this much than the one they have in New Orleans. New Orleans is good, but they lost Armstead a year ago, and they do look weaker.
Yeah.
The running game is relatively comparable, kind of, with the Madison situation. We'll see when Kamara comes back. But the point is well taken, because how much better would the Saints be with JJ, and how much worse would the Vikings be with Olave instead of JJ? I don't know the answer. Is it the difference between 5 wins or 1 win? I don't know. Yeah, naturally, you want to sit here and think okay, well, JJ is the best receiver in football, so he would make your team better. Yeah, he makes your team better on paper, but does he make your team better in practice?
Well, who did the Vikings just lose to?
Who was it?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa? Yeah, Tampa. Yeah, I mean, Mike Evans was a top 10, top 5 receiver at one point. Godwin was top 12. Mm-hmm. Neither one is at the moment because of their quarterback, but Baker played okay. They ran the ball fine. The O-line was average. The defense was average. But they beat the Vikings by 10. I forget. Oh, no, it was by 3. It was 3-point game. 3-point game. So, that was, for a reason I thought was 10, was about 20 minutes ago, for whatever reason, I was looking at the Colts stat line, and they did lose by 10. Exactly. I don't know. There is that's what's funny. Coaching staffs and injuries are becoming even more important than they've ever been. Quarterback play, not the best QB, but the quarterback play in the system they're in is becoming a massive coup. It's why guys like Brock Purdy are so successful right now, because they're in advantageous positions. It's why a guy like Justin Herbert, as good as he is, struggles to win those games. Because he's not in an advantageous position.
Lombardi.
No, it's Kellen Moore now. So we'll see.
Oh, God.
Well, no, we'll see. We'll see. There's a whole year here. I mean, they've got a year because Staley will not get to the end of the year if they have problems. So, well, we shouldn't. Joe Burrow is being coached by Zach Taylor. Nobody thinks Zach Taylor's a great coach, but the system works. Not this past week.
Not this past week at all.
It works. We've seen it work. I don't know. If the point you want to make is there's obvious player parity in the league right now, yeah, you're damn right. There is. There is.
I'm of the argument, and I've had this argument with people, that team building in general, for the majority of the NFL, is being done right.
Most of the league, yes.
But all that really matters at the end of the day, and what decides whether or not you go to the Super Bowl and win it, is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because the quarterback levels in the NFL, for me, is disgusting. The quarterback talent that's present in the NFL right now.
The top 5 are all objectively better than everybody else.
Yeah, and one of those top 5, I objectively do not want.
But we're going to discuss him right now.
No, we can't.
Why?
Because something happened last week while we were gone that we should probably talk about because it's headlining news. Chandler Jones.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to lump that in with the Matt Corral thing.
Yeah.
I hope he's getting help.
Yeah.
There was a lot of social media outbursts. I don't even want to touch it that much, but Chandler Jones is away from the Raiders right now. Had a bit of a outburst on social media, mainly targeted at Josh McDaniels, but other people as well. Dave Ziegler, I think, was name dropped in that one as well.
So was our defensive coordinator.
We'll see how that develops.
Yeah.
When we know something, you'll know something. Or you might know it before we do because we only do the show once a week. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That was not a fun story to see. I hope he's getting his help, and I hope he's all right. Now that we talk about Josh Allen.
Let's talk about Josh Allen.
So Josh Allen had a golden opportunity on Monday night to win a football game and just couldn't do it. Not only did he throw 3 interceptions, but he threw them all to Jordan Whitehead. All of them. And good for Jordan Whitehead.
He actually hit his bonus already. Did you know that?
Yeah, he did. I did know that. Yeah, Jordan Whitehead hit a contract accelerator in 1 game. So here's the problem. In Josh Allen's last 34 or 35 games, he has given the ball away 55 times combined between fumbles and picks. Guys, that's bad. That's extremely bad. And there's no way to. That's Carson Wentz in 2019 levels of bad. So, I think it's time to reevaluate how elite Josh Allen is, says the guy that drafted him in fantasy.
And I'm the guy who laughed at you while you drafted him.
I still think it's still the right pick at the time. Josh Allen does a lot of things with his legs that make him very fantasy viable. So I'm not sweating that shit at all. He's gonna.
Yeah, it's fine. The reason why people think Justin Fields is a good quarterback.
No, it's not why people think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. We're going to talk about that in a bit too. Although you did not write that down.
Yeah, I felt it was implied through his play.
We'll get there when we talk about the season awards.
Yeah.
However, Josh Allen, there was an article I saw today. In normal life, I forget where it was from, otherwise I would cite it. It might have been Sports Illustrated, but I don't remember. But the gist of the article was, in normal life, it's offensive or rude to just look someone in the face and just tell them to calm down. But somebody in Buffalo needs to do that shit with Josh Allen.
Are we at a point where we agree with what I'm saying and Sean McDermott's not actually that good of a coach?
No, because this has nothing to do with Sean McDermott. Okay. Honestly.
Because I don't think Josh Allen's being managed well at all.
I agree with that. But I'm not going to saddle this whole thing with McDermott because while I do believe I'm long on record as saying turnovers are evidence of poor coaching, Josh Allen's turnovers are special.
What was the number you gave?
It's like 55 in 35 games.
You want to know what it is in the last 19 games?
What is it?
20 interceptions and 17 fumbles.
37 in 19 games. That's roughly 2 a game.
Yeah.
Okay? So, that's horrendous. You cannot be turning the ball over 2 times a game. That's bad. It's very bad. Those are drives that could be punts or touchdowns or field goals.
And there was a couple of rumors going around on Twitter of Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis telling Josh Allen to, like, just stop.
Yeah. Josh Allen is doing what Carson Wentz did in that he is trying way too hard. Mm-hmm. Way too hard. Calm down. He's a scatterbrain right now. He needs to calm down. It's not that... Listen, playing quarterback is hard. Playing quarterback in the National Football League is it's unconscionably difficult. I get that. But there's 30 other guys in the NFL that generally don't look as scattered as you. 30. The other one being one who is more scattered, named Justin Fields.
Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Daniel Jones last week.
Zach Wilson doesn't know how to play football, and Daniel Jones should be tried for armed robbery. $160 million. All I'm going to say.
We're going to examine that whole contract in the offseason when they're looking for a new quarterback. Probably Kyler Murray.
For legacy listeners of this show,
yeah,
all of you people that are listening that have listened to this long term know how much of a fan, how much of an enthusiast I am of shit contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the new ceiling. If it continues along this path, this is going to put Jalen Ramsey and Kirk Cousins' contract to shame. Anyway, back on Allen. Right now, the Bills have a good quarterback. They used to have a great one. But right now, he's only good. As in, he might be like 9th right now. Like, he's not anything special. That tells you how weak the quarterback position is in the NFL right now. But he needs to protect the football. The Bengals have to protect the boy. The Bills have to protect the football. And now they lost Lyle Collins. Protection of the boy is at a minimum. But, I've said it a million times, the Bengals should have drafted Penny Sewell, and at the same time, should not have drafted Penny Sewell. I don't want to... We wrote in the notes here, is Josh Allen overrated? Right now, yeah, he is. It's only week 1. The show has a long-standing tradition of saying, talk to me in week 4. But it is week 1.
But watch out for our week-to-week prediction.
Yeah, right now he's overrated. Right now, it's not so good.
All right, let's do some awards.
Let's do some awards.
I don't have a
some
trophy.
Fun shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put a trophy in my hand.
Yeah, put a trophy. Put like a Razzie in his hand.
Give me an Oscar.
No, isn't it like an NFL honors like trophy? No, don't do that one though. Do something dumb. Do dumbest trophy. You know what you should do?
What?
Get the MTV one that looks like a spaceman. You never do that?
That's a cool trophy. Screw you.
Oh, shut up! I think it's so dumb. Isn't the VMAs one like a popcorn bucket?
I don't know. I've never watched a VMAs in my life.
Okay, put a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award blimp in his hand.
Yes, do it.
Banger. Likely hosted by Jack Black.
Banger.
All right. The episode of The Mandalorian with Jack Black in it, not a banger. Terrible. Piece of garbage. Didn't like it. Not his fault. Bad. Not Lizzo's fault either. Just not a good episode.
Okay. Let's start with the rookies first. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who do we predict, John?
So we differed on this slightly.
Yeah.
But Anthony Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
Of the 3 quarterbacks that played this past weekend, we saw kind of a yin-yang and another yin. We saw Bryce Young obviously looked like he was going through growing pains.
Yeah.
Played fine. Not horrendous by any stretch for a rookie debut, but And by the way, none of the three of them played poorly. They all played.
It was just
like
levels.
rookies.
It was pretty obvious that like it was levels of talent around them.
Yes. And neither one of them is surrounded by a ton of talent. But what's weird is that probably the best receiver that any of them has is probably Michael Pittman.
That's disgusting.
Which is sad.
That's disgusting.
So, yeah, Bryce Young looked fine. I give him like a C+ for his first game. CJ Stroud looked like the walking personification of mid-minus. Like, if you look at his stat line, you're like, okay, I guess that's quarterback. It's like Tannehill 2 years ago when he was like really average. Like it's absurd. It's like he's Andy Dalton right now. CJ Stroud.
God.
Like it's mid. And then Anthony Richardson showed flashes.
Oh yeah.
Now let's think about why. Who's the head coach in Houston? DeMeco Ryans. I don't know who the play caller is. Who's the head coach in Carolina? Frank Reich.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's the play caller.
Yeah.
Who's the head coach in Indy? Shane Steichen, who coached Jalen Hurts. And I believe he's the play caller in Indy.
So we got two offensive coordinators and DeMeco Ryans. Who's probably one of the better coaches. Like, let's give him a shot. But he's defensive.
Frank Reich won a Super Bowl as the Eagles OC in 2017. Mm-hmm. Steichen just went to a Super Bowl, coincidentally also with the Eagles. Lost, but went. Scored 35 points against the Chiefs. They're equipped for this. They're ready. They're fine. Steichen, I would argue, is more equipped because I think his quarterback is more modern. Mm-hmm. Bryce Young has to shed the Kyler Murray light label. I think he will. I think he's a better arm. Probably.
I think he's a better quarterback than Kyler Murray.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But Anthony Richardson, we said it on this show ad nauseum. Bryce Young's the best QB out of that draft day one. But if you told us 6 months from now that Anthony Richardson if you told us 6 months from now that Anthony Richardson is not the best of the three of them, we'd believe it. Because that was our golden goose. When we started going through it, it's like, oh shit, this dude can flat out ball. So, just keep balling. Because so far it doesn't look like it's messing with his head. He does not look bothered by the NFL game at all.
I just want to do this right now.
We also thought about Bijan for the slot as well, but QBs are QBs.
I just want to do this right now because we're talking about quarterbacks.
Sure.
And the college football season has started.
Sure.
I just want to do like a quick stock up, stock down on the 2024 quarterbacks. Really quick. Caleb Williams, stock up. Drake May, stock up. Quinn Ewers. If you have not watched the highlight tapes for that game, Texas versus Alabama, the guy threw very pretty balls.
I'm going to caution my friend Dipteen about something.
Okay.
This is very similar to how you felt after that one Josh Rosen game.
Yes, which is why we're not scouting quarterbacks right now.
Yet. Your full body work, Quinn Ewers looked great.
Who else? Shadur Sanders. I think
it's Shadur. I don't remember though.
Shadur Sanders. I like him more than John right now.
Yes.
I think you
like the Colorado program more than I do right now because I'm seeing through a facade.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a lie.
I think their defense is really bad. But I think
what do you mean bad? It's atrocious.
I think their defense is like disgustingly bad. It reminds me of the Raiders defense.
Deion Sanders has done an amazing job recruiting people.
Yeah.
I don't know how good a job he's done coaching it.
But his son is pretty good at throwing the football.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Michael, is it Michael Penix Jr. or Michael Penny Jr.?
Penix, I think. I don't remember.
I hope it's Penix because I don't want to spend an entire draft offseason saying Penix.
I'm pretty sure it's Penix.
So Michael Penix Jr., I haven't watched him yet, and I haven't watched Bo Nix yet either.
I haven't seen Bo Nix play this year yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna. We do our study later. Mm-hmm. It's not September. It's, talk to us in the winter.
Yeah. But I just want to say that because college football kind of went crazy this week.
Yeah. Caleb Williams is a freak.
Yeah.
But I am going to caution Caleb Williams' dad about something real quick.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, don't start talking about how your son's not going to come out if he doesn't like the team picking number one. Shut up. Just stop. Yes, I understand NIL makes things very easy to do now financially, so you're fine. Like you don't have to come in for money. I got that. And yeah, I think players should have some say in where they go, but that's not how the NFL currently works. You are not part of the Manning dynasty. Eli got to do that. It pissed a lot of people off. Elway did it. It pissed a lot of people off. I mean, do you want to piss people off? Sure, fine. I mean, doesn't matter to me. If you end up with Arizona and you don't want to go there, and you're like, no, I want to be a Ram, you better hope the Rams lost enough games because the trade's going to have to make sense.
And then Arizona will absolutely trade rape the Rams.
It's not going to go well. We use that term colloquially. It's a fantasy football phrase. Watch the league. Yeah, it's not a good situation to be jawing already. It is September. There's a long season.
Why don't you focus on getting USC to the college football playoffs?
You want to pull this LeVar Ball BS, wait until January. Like, wait till the bowl games are done. Give yourself a little bit of time. We know Caleb's coming this year. There's no reason he isn't. It'd be pointless for him to not. You really think he's going to risk an extra year in college and get hurt? He gets hurt in college, it won't matter who's picking number one. He won't be it. Make it really easy. Make it really easy.
Defensive Rookie of the Year was already unanimous for us.
Yeah. Jalen fucking Carter. And after what I watched him do against the Patriots this past weekend, Jalen fucking Carter. Kid's good. Kid's really good.
Comeback Player of the Year?
Yeah, so everybody wants to say DeMar Hamlin. And I also want to say DeMar Hamlin. But DeMar Hamlin, if I recall correctly, was a healthy scratch this past week.
Yep.
The story of DeMar Hamlin is amazing. It's a medical miracle. But he does not play very much. So, he doesn't play very much. So, we're going to go with Tua.
Yeah. I really had to push this one, too.
You did. Because it doesn't... The math all says DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin is going to win this award. But he doesn't play that much, so there is a world where he does not win this award. So, who knows? We'll see. I hope he's doing okay, though. It seems like he is. He went through a full training camp and made a team. So, shit.
Offensive Player of the Year. Tyreek Hill.
I thought you said Defensive Player of the Year.
No, I said offensive.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tight. Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. End of list. Tyreek Hill wins it.
I think Tyreek Hill's going to win it.
Probably helped by his performance week one. I mean, the guy hung 40. He put a 40 burger on the fantasy board. That'll do it. I think Tua just threw for 466 or something?
466, yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of yards. The Dolphins look scary. They're legit. They're very legit. Very, very legit. So I'll go with Tyreek. Yeah, the Niners look good, but you played Pittsburgh. Who gives a shit?
Defensive Player of the Year, we went with Micah Parsons.
This is a log jam.
So, let's break this down.
There's 10 dudes.
We had 4, main contestants, finalists.
Yep. We should have put Chris Jones in here, too, though, because he made a contract. It's a weird contract, but he's back.
Which, by the way, Chris Jones is back. It took the Chiefs losing a game for him to come back.
Yeah. Okay, fine, we'll pay you. Just get back here.
Nick Bosa, Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, and who was the other one? Oh, Myles Garrett. Were our finalists.
Yeah.
And we went with Micah Parsons because generally...
TJ Watt was on that list.
Oh, yeah, TJ Watt. TJ Watt played... By the way... Steelers, you suck. TJ Watt, you're God.
You're amazing.
Yeah. We went with Micah Parsons because generally the winning team with the better or equal player wins the award. And the Cowboys destroyed the Giants.
It's been a 2-year reprieve from it, but all of a sudden no one's like talking about Aaron Donald as this game-wrecking defensive player anymore just because the Rams aren't good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is my
point.
The
Rams went 1-0. They started 1-0. By the way, Puka Nacua, who are you?
By the way, Gino, who are you?
Yeah. God. You know what's funny? Every time I think of it, I'm just like, I would go back to that like Force Awakens trailer. Who are you? And she's like, I'm no one. It's like, no, Puka, you might be somebody. I really hope I'm saying his name right. I haven't looked it up. I really haven't. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to be honest. I just haven't looked it up yet. But if I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. I will make sure I'm right for next episode. But yeah, we did this hastily. Sorry. I apologize if I am way off.
All right.
But there you go.
MVP.
So I want to make something clear. I was still going to say this ahead of time, that my MVP was going to be Joe Burrow if we had done this last week.
This was also my pick. Before, I drafted him in fantasy.
Yeah, and team's pick ahead of time was Lamar Jackson. I think we're both just going to stick with those because they both did not have good week ones.
No, they did not.
But Lamar Jackson right now has to be the MVP or the Ravens are fucked. Yeah. Like, he has to do it or the Ravens are screwed. So, sure, I guess he's going to be MVP. Yes, we could sit here and be like, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, who did not play well this week. Or
Jalen Hurts is probably due for one.
In the second year starting?
Yeah.
I would say something. Jalen did not play well the other day. Like, he played fine in the first quarter and a half. And then the offense just stopped. And the defense, man, the Philly defense, well, we'll talk about when we go game by game because we're going to talk about the Thursday game first. But the Philly defense has an obvious problem. Like, a problem that every offensive coach in the NFL should now be very aware of because of what New England did. Mm-hmm. It should be very easy to move the ball on us unless we adapt. So, yeah, Lamar has to be the MVP if the Ravens want a chance to even be relevant this year. So, him.
And
Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. We both pick teams that don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but we picked the trade partners.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Robert Saleh because if the Jets find a way to win 9 games anyway, it will be proof that Robert Saleh speaks directly to God. He is God's vessel in the event, whatever God you worship. He is, or gods, whatever. We are so non-theistic here, it's insane. Robert Saleh needs to channel some, like,
ayahuasca.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuska. They need to find some, like, ancient football ritual that allows this to, like, some ancient football necromancy that somehow finds a way to win games this year. If the Jets are able to go 8-9 for the remainder of their schedule and finish the year with 9 wins, it might be the greatest achievement in the history of coaching.
Come on.
Dude. The team is still good. It's still built fine.
How did the New York Jets do last year? What was their record last year?
Quentin Williams is way better than the player I thought he was. Way better than the player I thought he was.
All right, the New York Jets last year ended the season at 7-10. I think the team is
Zach Wilson and Mike White.
Yeah, but I think the team is a minimum of 2 games better. The team is actually not bad. 9
wins, baby.
My choice.
Go ahead. Who's your boy?
My choice is Matt LaFleur.
Also legit.
Because for some reason, I think they're winning the division again.
Let's give Jordan Love some props, everybody. Played well.
Called it.
Played well. No Christian Watson. Played well. You heard it here first 4 years ago. In the middle of COVID. We took a shot
No, we didn't. I looked at the history, and we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, we didn't.
I'm refusing to call that a shot. When we did the research...
we just studied it. Yeah, we were like, it's time.
We did the research of what the Packers do, and we said they did this to Brett Favre, they're going to do this to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we didn't even, I don't think we wavered. We were just like, this is going to happen.
Yeah. And congratulations, it looks like he may have fell ass backwards into another franchise.
We're like Nintendo Direct leakers if we were, always right. Let's go. It's Nintendo Direct Eve. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm going LaFleur. I think the division is bad. I really do. I think the Bears are bad.
It is!
I think the Vikings are frauds. And
they are!
Detroit is my choice to compete against the Packers. I got some coaching questions for Detroit now.
How'd the Bears give up 38 points?
Who cares? How did Jahmyr Gibbs never touch the ball? I mean, I get that the Lions beat Kansas City, and everyone's like, the Lions have arrived. I don't think they played that well.
I refuse to acknowledge that game as a coronation of jack shit. Watching that game, I watched two bad performances.
Yeah.
And Detroit end up with more points. That's what I watched. That's what happened with the Jets and Bills on Monday. Mm-hmm. The Jets and Bills game was amazing. It was an amazing football game. Played very poorly by both teams. But the game was awesome. Doesn't make it good. It makes it fun. It was bad football, but it was a fun fucking time.
All right, let's move on to week-to-week predictions, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thursday night football. Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still picking us. But I'm not overly confident. Not for any reason, especially other than the fact that my second corner this week is going to be Josh Jobe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bradbury's in concussion protocol. Reed Blankenship is my best safety. He's not playing either. He's out with something. Kenny Gainwell's not playing. And Kobe Dean's going to be out for multiple weeks. Not ideal at all. Fletcher Cox is also a little banged up, but all signs point to him playing. I'm not thrilled with with what the Eagles did this past week. Because what I learned is that the middle of the field is not ready for prime time yet in Philadelphia on defense. We were butchered by tight ends. Butchered. It did not go well in the middle of the field. On third down, we could not get off the field in the middle of our defense. We are out in Kobe Dean. Nicholas Morrow was promoted, and we added Rashaan Evans to the practice squad. First of all, I would like that inverted. I would like to see Rashaan Evans play snaps. Number one. Number two, reason he isn't is because Morrow was with us through all training camp and Evans wasn't. Zach Cunningham is great. He's actually still really good. I don't know why he was just on the street. I don't get that at all. But what I do need to see happen is while the Eagles got a lot of hurries and a lot of pressures, you do need to maintain your coverage because they can't get there in under 2 seconds. You need 3 to collapse the pocket. So you need to force a quarterback to stand there for a second. Our DBs were not doing that. Slay had a good game. Outside of Darius Slay, the defense was not great, though. The secondary was not great outside of Darius Slay. Shocking, the best player on your defensive backfield is the one that played the best. I'll say Philly by 3, but the X factor is Jordan Addison this week. Addison is going to cause issues if we don't respect his speed.
I think it's Philly for a very simple reason. Kirk Cousins in prime time against Jalen Carter. Kirk Cousins in prime time against Jalen Carter.
And Christian Darrisaw. I'm sorry, Garrett Bradbury is not playing this game for the Vikings. And Christian Darrisaw is also a little banged up.
Yeah.
But Bradbury is not playing.
The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with Baltimore here. Because I think Baltimore is a better defense.
They have to.
Yeah. I don't think the Bengals offensive line will be able to handle the Baltimore defense. They have good linebackers. Joe Mixon. I never like rooting for Joe Mixon. I drafted Joe Mixon. I do not like Joe Mixon.
We all know why we don't like to root for Joe Mixon. We don't have to pretend like it's hidden. We all know why we don't like it.
But I'm going with the Ravens to win this game and put the Bengals at 0-2.
Yeah. You know what's weird is in my brain that doesn't make any sense. But a few years ago, the Packers started 0-2. Aaron Rodgers hit us with the RELAX, relax. I believe they made the conference championship that year. 0-2 is not the death knell.
Then they lost to San Fran again.
Yeah, they lost. So I'm ready for the Bengals to potentially lose this game. Joe Burrow said he's sore, and that's the only reason I'm picking Baltimore. Joe Burrow's not fully healthy yet.
The Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, in my brain, I can't say Seattle's going 0-2. I know Detroit probably is your favorite, probably by I would say it's probably 4 points. But I'm gonna go Seattle.
I can't imagine Seattle's offense being that bad again.
Right. Kenneth Walker found holes. He did. He just needs to find more. The O-line in Seattle, you know how beat up the O-line in Seattle is right now?
How bad?
Both tackles are out, probably. They're so beat up, they're bringing in Jason Peters for a workout. Jason Peters is 41. Might I suggest Lyle Collins? By the way, that's where he's going. If Lyle Collins is even kind of healthy, he's going to Seattle.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think Detroit wins it. Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. This is easy for me.
Colts.
I think it's Colts, yeah.
It's a fun game, rookie on rookie, but Colts. AR just looks better right now.
The Bears at the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the Bears.
I'm going to go with the Bucks. 2 weeks ago, I would have been with you, but I'm not anymore. I'm not. I'm getting a little concerned with Eberflus.
I think Fields will run around I think he'll run around like a chicken without his head. And
what are they playing, Tampa or Chicago?
They play at Tampa.
Baker looked okay this week. I've already admitted that I wasn't right on Bake. Mm-hmm. But if he looks okay, I'm going to say he looked okay, and he looked okay.
I'm going to go with Chicago.
Fine.
Chiefs at Jaguars.
Close one.
Chiefs at Jaguars. Before you decide, I'm going to check Travis Kelce's health.
Well, he's apparently dating Taylor Swift, so his health is 0.
That explains why he's got a knee injury.
Calvin Ridley was really good this week. And I'm surprised at how good he was.
In my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs are going 0-2. And I'm going with Jacksonville. You don't have a fully healthy Travis Kelce, even if he does play. The Chiefs' wide receiver core is shocking, to say the least.
Kadarius Toney dropped a lot of balls.
And
he dropped a lot of balls.
I don't think the addition of Chris Jones moves the needle far enough to cause a victory.
The Chiefs looked out of sorts, and you don't fix out of sorts in 1 week. Mm-hmm. You don't fix it in 10 days either. I agree with you. I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Oh, what a division I am in.
Wow.
The Green Bay...
Right now, the Raiders are already winning the division trajectory.
No. Not only are they winning the division, the Raiders are a top playoff seed because they played a divisional game.
For what it's week 1. Relax.
This is the peak of my season, I hope.
Yeah, you hope.
The Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go Green Bay all the way.
As am I. Desmond Ritter looked fine, but Desmond Ritter's first 4 passes were for negative 12 yards.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
After that, he was fine.
Las Vegas Raiders play the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to go with Buffalo. You can pick the Raiders if you want, but
I'm going to put our money with... I'm going to put my mouth where this podcast is, and I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I was going to say money. Where are we getting any of that?
Yeah. I think Josh Allen's in a lot of trouble. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, against Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah. Hail Jimmy Garoppolo shit. Los Angeles. I wanted to say San Diego so bad. The Los Angeles Chargers will play the Tennessee Titans. And I'm going to go with the Chargers.
As am I. I think we're a couple of weeks away from either Willis or Levis starting. Tannehill did not play well.
The New York Giants, after what happened in Dallas, will be playing the Arizona Cardinals and winning.
Giants. Yeah, Giants. I was sitting here like, if they're playing anybody reasonably competent, I'm going to pick them to lose. But they're not. So
the Zach Wilson Jets will be playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas.
I'm only picking the Cowboys because it's at Dallas. To be quite honest with you.
I'm picking Dallas.
If this was in New York, I think I'd pick the Jets.
If New York wins, Robert Saleh's winning Coach of the Year.
The Washington Commanders, who might change their name again, will be playing the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to pick Washington in this one.
It's a very 50-50 game for me.
It is, but I'm going to pick Washington. I think Washington's better than people think. Not good enough. Not like a contender, but they're not overlookable. And Jonathan Allen is still a monster.
Before you lock in, I'm going to check Jerry Jeudy.
It's irrelevant.
I'm going to check Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't even realize Jeudy missed last week's game.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I thought he was back. I didn't realize it.
Okay. With Jeudy back and in Denver, I will go with the Denver Broncos.
In Denver would give me more pause, but I'm going to stick with Washington.
The Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots.
Miami.
I think this is going to be a letdown game, and I think Miami will only win it by like 3 points.
New England looked not bad last week, but I will say I get it with Patriot fans that aren't all in on Mac Jones, but he's better than they say he is. That he is better than they say. He's not good enough, though. He is better than they say. This is a weird one. He's like Matt Hasselbeck. Like, it's weird.
The New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. I want to drive the car, John. I'm going to drive the car.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Saints. You want to go Carolina?
Yeah, I do. I don't trust New Orleans. Carr played well the other day, but I don't trust them.
And lastly, oh, by the way, that is a Monday Night Football game. The second Monday Night Football game will be the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think I have to go
again? Browns Steelers?
Yeah, I think I have to go with the Browns. The Steelers showed me nothing.
The only thing that I saw out of the Steelers the other day was the fact that Kenny Pickett can get there. He just isn't yet.
I think Kenny Pickett played terrible. I think he played.
I saw the glimmers I needed to see.
I think Pickett played terrible. Deontay Johnson's probably gone for this week.
He is.
Minimum.
Yeah, he's not going to play this week.
Cam
Hayward's out multiple weeks with a groin.
Yeah. Najee Harris is not impressive.
I am so ready for him to be called a bust. It's coming.
I think the Browns are just a better football team right now. I'm going to pick Cleveland.
I can't dispute it. Are they in Cleveland?
No, they're at Pittsburgh. Actually, I think Pittsburgh.
I'll go Cleveland.
Fine,
you convince me. I'll go Cleveland. You convince me.
Let me just check one thing. I do. Wow. I have the Steelers starting the season 0-3. The week after.
Reasonable at this point. What we saw out of the Niners, it's reasonable.
The week after, they play the Raiders. And the Steelers play down to the Raiders level every single time.
Yeah, the problem with the Steelers is they're never firing Tomlin, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us.
You can go 0-17. He's not going anywhere.
That's it for us. Those are your week picks. We will see you next week. I promise.
Indubitably.
I've
got concerts coming up. I got to tell you about some of these. There's seen Ed Sheeran.
Gross.
No, I'm so mad at people that think hating Ed Sheeran is like a personality trait.
No, I just think his music is literally every single song is exactly the same.
They're not.
I don't care. I don't care what teenage John's heart says. Ed Sheeran's music is all exactly the same. You're laying on your bed, kicking your feet up in the air, wondering if she would call.
Ed Sheeran slaps, homie. Ed Sheeran slaps so fucking hard. Ed Sheeran goes so hard. I want Ed Sheeran to get the halftime show so badly.
No, God,
it would slap so hard.
All right.
They try to give it to Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift was like, no, because it's not about me.
All right.
I don't know if that was a reason.
No, I think the reason was I'm making so much money on my Eras tour.
Well, the tour's over.
Okay, then I made enough money for my children to have children and never think about money.
So did Travis Kelce. Whatever. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, Josh Allen's dating Haley Steinfeld.
I forgot about that.
Bye-bye.